Yeah, you were the
Yeah.
first person we kind of showed any of that, seriously.
Thank you.
And I was grateful to have you in the room because it was like, all right, this is someone who knows their stuff, and I feel like we do need some feedback because, you know,
You're like, we think it's great.
Yeah, which you have to when you're making it, because
course.
if you don't, then...
I'm Allison Hagendorf. America, this is the next. Hello, Times Square. Hello, Madison Square Garden. Welcome to X Games Aspen. I'm Allison Hagendorf. I'm the live announcer of the B&E. Welcome to Rock This with Allison Hagendorf.
Yeah, this is Allison Hagendorf.
Hello, my fellow music lovers, and welcome to the Allison Hagendorf Show. Hello, my fellow music lovers, and welcome to the Allison Hagendorf Show. This is where we celebrate the universal love of music and the rock and roll spirit that lives in each of us. I'm so glad you're here. We are coming to you from DWP Studios in Los Angeles, and I want to give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, Cloudwater, and our friends at Karma Sauce. These are quality products I love, and they help make this show possible along with you. Your support means the world to me. Thank you. My guest today is Ashton Irwin, best known as the drummer of global superstar pop rock band 5 Seconds of Summer. In addition to his role of being part of one of the most successful Australian acts of all time, Ashton is a truly talented singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist. He has been writing for other artists over the years, and his second solo album, Blood on the Drums, is out today. We'll be taking a deep dive into all of this, the music, his unique journey, the obstacles he's had to overcome, and the stories behind it all. We'll be right back with Ashton Irwin joining me right here in the studio. One thing about me is that I work hard and play hard, and this functionally fun box from Cloudwater helps me do that. These are my people. Listen to what it says inside. The world would be a better place if fun people lived forever. Yes, I subscribe to this. I feel seen. Inside, we have organic caffeine, we have daily defense, immunity, and CBD, which I imbibe every single afternoon. I think you'll enjoy this. Go to cloudwaterbrands.com, use my code Allison30 for 30% off, and let me know what you think. Cheers. As you know, I care so much about the music community, and I wanted to share a way for artists and content creators to get your videos seen by more people. Advertising.me is one of the leading digital marketing boutique companies. They promoted over 50,000 songs, artists, and creators, and they specialize in YouTube promotions. With algorithms always changing, they are in direct contact with YouTube teams to get ahead of the ever-evolving landscape. They use targeted advertising, curated playlists, and other YouTube strategies to connect your music and content with the right audience based on a deep understanding of your fans. No bots, only real views, fans, engagement, and subscribers. For all artists, any budget, you can unlock YouTube starting at just $100. Go to advertising.me and use my code Allison20 for 20% off your first campaign. My guest today is the drummer of 5 Seconds of Summer, who have sold more than 18 million albums, sold over 6 million concert tickets worldwide, and amassed over 10 billion streams. With diehard fans all over the world, they are one of Australia's most successful music acts in history. Today, this singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist releases his second solo album, Blood on the Drums. Ashton Irwin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, what an intro.
Oh,
sweet.
thank you.
Yes, I have arrived.
And now on the Allison Hagendorf Show, the greatest milestone of all.
No, it's good. It's great to be here.
I love seeing you, and you're always so dapper. I mean, come on, the shirt matching, the watch.
Yeah, I got a good day going on today. I'm talking to you, and then later on, I'm actually playing a little acoustic show for some fans at Hotel Cafe.
Oh, wow, what a treat, 'cause it's so intimate.
I know. I've seen many people up on that little stage, and I've always thought, damn, I would be so nervous to be up on there, but yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Like, that's a whole, I mean, you played arenas around the world, but like something so intimate like that.
I love that stuff. I mean, when I was like 14 years old, I would play in like Italian restaurants in my town, and like anywhere I could have my little like djembe, my acoustic guitar and a mic, and I would play wherever. So playing in a small room is like, I actually love it.
Oh, you do?
It's really testing, very, very showing of the songs beneath the production, you know, and you can get into storyteller mode, which is something I really dig that.
So are you going to be playing a lot of the new songs, I'm assuming?
It'll be
all of them?
new
All
stuff,
of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Blood on the Drums, which is awesome. Congratulations, by the way. It's
Thank you.
so special.
Thanks.
I love that you decided to put it out in 2 installments, like 2 halves, really, you know?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that with the thorns and the roses. I love that.
Yeah. Over the years, I mean, in my 20s, I've released about 8 albums. And I've always been a part of albums that are like 14 plus tracks. I mean, that was pretty standard for my era. So yeah, the more music, the better. And I never really think about it too much when I'm making the music. I just, when I'm satisfied with the diversity of the sounds and the lyrical content, then I'll feel like it's enough. But this album really presented itself in 2 different forms, lyrically and sonically. I think that's probably because I work with 2 producers, which is John Feldman and Matt Pauling. And I have interesting relationships with both those producers, and they bring out different parts of me.
How would you describe that? Like, what is your dynamic with both of them, and how do they compare or differ?
John and I have like a long history of recording and writing lyrics together. And we write a lot about resilience and inner spiritual turmoil and becoming more enlightened on the things that hold us down. And we really do think about the outward projection of like positive thinking. And it's really a cornerstone of John and I's lyrical content. Like, whereas Matt Pauling and I write more of the they're kind of this stranger concepts that come from the depths of my imagination. We made my first album together, my solo album, Matt and I, and it was more ethereal, more spiritual concepts that, and diving into spiritual metaphors and psychological metaphors and things, because I'm big into talking about that stuff in my music, because I study it within myself, so it's natural that it comes out in my lyricism.
And that's what I love about this album, because you get both.
Yeah.
And with the 2 halves, the 2 sides, it's really a journey, you know. And I listened to 16 songs total, I believe, right? I listened to all 16 in sequence.
Wow.
Like, that's how I listened to it. So that's really a journey, you know. It's almost like you feel this emotion, and then it's like it's so emotional. It really taps into the full spectrum of emotion. And I was so grateful I got to come that day in the studio with you and Feldy. And just really got to see you do your thing. And you I think you guys started me with...
Did we show you Indestructible?
Oh, you did, yes.
And Straight to Your Heart as well.
Straight to Your Heart is like, it was an instant. It's one of my absolute favorite songs.
Oh,
it's
thanks.
such a banger.
Yeah, you were the first person we kind of showed any of that, seriously.
Thank you.
And I was grateful to have you in the room, because it was like, all right, this is someone who knows their stuff, and I feel like we do need some feedback, because you know,
we think it's great.
Yeah, which you have to when you're making it, because if you don't, then.
Well, I thought it was great too, and I just was so moved by it.
And it was awesome. It was great to get that positive, like, wind in our sails almost. It was like, all right, we're on a good path here, let's keep going. And it's not all about feedback. Like, I think I've always been someone who's like, try to be pretty uninfluenced.
Yes.
Like, if you think it's good, really try and trust yourself. Because often the outcome for that is much better than listening to everybody else and what they think about what you're doing, you know. So, but we did appreciate you being there. We did appreciate your ears.
I loved it. And then when I saw the video from Straight to Your Heart, I mean, that video. Okay, so 2 things. You learned to ride, you got your motorcycle license.
Yeah,
right?
I did. And then I decided instantly it was too dangerous for a drummer. So I did that music video, and I wanted to learn, because I'm turning 30 in like a month. And I also have that slight thing right now where it's like, whatever I haven't done or wanted to do, or, you know, I'm like just doing all these things I thought I would like to know how to do, but by the time I was 30, which is like archery and riding motorbikes and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm an incredibly productive person, so I was like, well, how do I do all these things while still be creating music, still be releasing music? So I use my music videos as kind of an excuse to like learn things and like put them in there. But
that speaks volumes about your character. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm just
You're like, I'm gonna learn archery.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride a motorcycle. They're all gonna be my video.
yeah, I
It's
don't
so
know.
cool.
It's kind of stupid, I guess, but I'm
By
having
stupid,
fun.
do you mean amazing?
Yeah,
And, like, taking notes.
And
yeah.
you know, like if you're gonna have a solo project, like
Yeah.
you know, so these are all things that I just combine together. But deep down, there's a lot of metaphor in that too,
course.
and yeah, and that video is beautiful.
It's
it was
so beautiful.
Kicked it off.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then Blood on the Drums video.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's just talk about this.
Obviously pretty gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
I've often looked down at my hands on stage on a long 200 plus show tour, and they're a bloody mess, and you know, everything in my life has been earned with my hands. So there's a resilience in my character that exists that I also thought I could speak about lyrically in other in a multifaceted way. You know, like I think to even be a musician in this day and age, be an artist in this day and age, takes resilience and passion.
Of course.
But for Blood on the Drums, I wanted to show, yes, the physical brutality of drumming and never stopping and that whole thing. And obviously people compare to Whiplash and that kind of
Right.
thing, which I love. But the other thing was, well, I'm never gonna stop making music until no one's really listening anymore. That's what's up with me. So, you know, and the lyric says, "I've given it all that I got, and there's blood on my drums." You know, metaphorically and in reality. So, yeah.
What's so cool about you too is, of course, you're an incredible drummer, but you are a multi-instrumentalist and a singer-songwriter, and this album really,
Yeah.
you know, shows that and displays that.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent my whole life just writing songs. And in my band, 5 Seconds of Summer, everybody writes and plays. Everybody's pretty competent at most things that would be in a rock band. So those guys are seriously talented. Like Michael's actually a great drummer.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know if he would
Yeah.
agree, but I've seen him play. He's got the most chops. Luke has this laid back, like War on Drugs thing that's really cool on acoustic. But and then Callum is like, he's a really deep lyricist, a deep thinker, really amazing acoustic guitarist. And I'm sure we could all swap instruments at stages, but really it's been about pushing each other with our musicianship. And in the studio, it's not really like, but I'm the drummer, I want to play drums.
Right.
It's like just whoever is ready to play drums at that point in time, get in there and record, you know?
That's beautiful, and that speaks about your dynamic and relationship in the band. And that's part of the secret for a successful band is the mutual respect. you know?
Yeah, and just forgetting yourself, trying to
Yes.
forget yourself a lot is like really the key for bands. And I've only been in one good one, so I don't know.
The one that counts.
Yeah, I don't know the secrets, but
I'll never forget the first time I saw you guys. Of course, I knew about your huge success, and I think that in America, I think because your initial tour, I think was with One Direction. I think when you right.
Yeah, good times.
So I think that like I assumed it was like a boy band,
Yeah.
and then I saw you live, and I was confused because it was nothing like I thought. Like you guys crushed an incredible, objectively amazing live band.
Oh, thanks.
And that's when I became a fan, when I saw you guys live.
Yeah, we were pretty classic rock and roll roots. Like we did just start playing at hotels and bars and pubs and things in Australia. But we were clued into the fact that boy bands were extremely popular. Like we weren't idiotic. Like we're like, oh, we want to be Green Day, but there's definitely no Green Days in the top 100 at the moment, that's for sure. And this was 14 years ago or something.
Right.
But we were just like, well, if we just band together and we don't pay too much attention to what people say we should be or what they thought we would be, and we'll just put ourselves in the best situations possible and pray to God that people dig what we do, and we'll not get too caught up in any stigmas or anything, and we'll shine the way we think we can, the way we feel, and hope for the best. And you know,
I think that worked.
It worked.
That was a good approach.
Yeah.
It's just about getting your music in front of as many people as possible, and then the music will speak for itself.
Yeah,
And that's
we
what
hoped so.
Yeah.
But I look back at those videos, we were all so just babies, man.
Babies.
You know, at One Direction we're playing to, 100,000 plus people a day. And we would get up there for 20 minutes and play unreleased music. And it was kind of brutal. Like, hey, everyone, no one knows any of this, but hopefully our good energy is infectious enough for you to actually enjoy yourself at these concerts. But,
I mean, you guys really had to rise to the occasion pretty quickly and very intensely. Like, what was that like for you in that experience?
it was actually, it took a lot of blind faith. Our 20th show was supporting One Direction at the O2, and they were playing 2 weeks of matinees. So they would play 2 O2 arenas a day for 2 weeks. And that was kind of like our trial by fire.
That's your
like,
boot camp.
Oh,
no joke.
Oh my God. It was like, we'd play 24,000 people at 2 p.m. and then we'd do it again at 9 p.m. And we do that for 2 weeks. So it was like boot camp exactly. And the first day you're shaking and, we had no production, no nothing. No one knows us. And we would just get up there day after day and kind of tweak our set and tweak our musicality, tweak our performance. And just hope that, we made the right move over to England and,
Unbelievable.
It was crazy. It was really crazy.
Well, it worked because then you guys catapulted into stardom and had your own success, which was pretty meteoric as well.
Yeah. But, I think back at those times and I just feel so lucky to have witnessed even like One Direction's, I felt like I had a front row seat to like the modern Beatles or something. It just felt really like madness to see. They were so generous and kind to us. And I think about it still weekly. Like if I see them, I just want to say, thank you for my career. Thank you for everything I have.
Wonderful.
Because it's like now we're so far down the line and they're not even a band anymore. But I wish they were because they could have done so much more cool shit. But
maybe they'll reunite.
Oh,
and they can open for you guys.
I felt like their music kept getting better and better. Anyways.
But I love to know that, of course, the context of how many albums you did as a band. And that's why doing a solo album is so special because you get to really just do you.
Yeah. And if, it's all about dreaming up like the perfect narrative for my band's lifetime. And all of my favorite, majorly awesome rock groups, like even like the Rolling Stones, or the Eagles, or all these really iconic male groups have these really amazing individuals within the bands. And if you really are a super fan of those bands, you go, well, Ronnie Wood does that part of the Rolling Stones, and Keith does this part, and Mick Jagger does this thing. And if you hear on his solo record over there that, he really specializes in that part of the Stones that you like, or and et cetera, So one day down the line, when we look back in 20 years, I would really, be proud of a catalog of not just band albums, but solo records. I mean, that'd be really cool.
I think it's good when you get to have that outlet to you do. Because like you said, when you're in a band, you have to let go of your ego.
Yeah.
So it's kind of great to have that outlet, to have your own work, to to spill it out there, so that when you get back to the band, you feel refreshed and ready to be back with your brothers, right?
Yeah, and also to really just let each guy be good at what he's good at.
Yeah.
Because you can get that confused. Like you might start to think, well, I don't know, who knows? But, focusing back on the drums again, focusing back on the songwriting when I go back to Five Sauce and not, when I lead sing on my own stuff, I really do appreciate how much those guys deliver vocally when we go on tour and stuff. And it must just be insanely exhausting in a different way to drumming.
Right. And Luke has his solo work as well.
Yeah,
That's great.
I went to his show at the Palladium. It was good. It's such a vibe. It's really cruisy. It's like a big different. It's so different to my stuff. My stuff has a lot of like teeth. It's like quite like, but that's that drummer thing, It has momentum and attack, and his is very dreamy, very beautiful, angelic.
It is so dreamy. I love that you guys support each other. That's really, really special.
That's the way to do it. Like,
of course.
If he succeeds, I succeed. If I succeed, he succeeds. If we succeed,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do this. Like, and also, yeah, that just feels right to our friendship. I mean, we met when we were 15 years old, so I mean,
it's half your life.
yeah, it's you know, all of my life that I can
Yes,
remember. So.
right.
Yeah.
I think what's wonderful about you and the music and the band is this camaraderie. And when I asked Feldy, I told him you were coming by today, you know, he just was saying the most beautiful things about you. And
I'm surprised you didn't come in.
I said that to him. I'm like, Feldy, come on in. So
Yeah.
you're calling him out. I'm calling him out. He did send, though, something I wanted to share. So I'm a firm believer, if someone says something nice about you, you should share it with that person,
Oh, that's
you know?
cool.
So he said, Ashton's always been like a little brother to me. It was such a joy watching his creative process in the studio. He has so many ideas and plays every instrument. It was so awesome to be able to create this body of work, Blood on the Drums. We work so well together, meaning he trusts me when I say we can do better than this, and I trust him when he says it's not good enough. It's a powerful dynamic. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's sharp. And as well, like, I love the conversation where I go, John, this is a great one. He goes, look, man, I've written a lot of songs. This one ain't it. And I'll just swallow that for a sec and go, he's probably right.
Do you appreciate that candor? It's pretty ballsy, though.
No, I
it's
love
pretty ballsy,
it.
Yeah.
No, it's a breath of fresh air because
Yeah.
it's like, dude, if you're not digging it, you're the producer. Like, this is equal, like, ride here.
Yeah.
It's not, you know. So, and obviously you go to John for specific kind of music.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, like, process and sonic and even the way his team works. I really admire his whole thing. So.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And one of the songs you guys did together was Lose You.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song.
Oh, that's kind of clawing its way to the top of my song pile right now.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I do notice a lot of fans really like it. I stuck it in there. I was like, it's a little more contemporary. It's got that Knight Rider kind of dark thing, which I really love. Like, I listen to all kinds of stuff like that. But the first one that comes to mind, there's two songs that I always reference, and it's Kavinsky, Night Call.
Yes.
And it's a Childish Gambino song. Oh God, I forget the name of it right now. I reference it all the time. It's just got this nasty synth. It's like French,
so good,
like dance pop kind of thing with a contemporary hook. So yeah, I love that song.
It's such an instant first listen.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I love about it is you'll have a song like that, and then you get to the Canyon.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
And it's like, talk about switching universes. You know what I mean? It's like, and I love that the Canyon starts sort of this next chapter. You know? Yeah,
the Thorns and the Roses side is with the Canyon on it, which is the side that isn't out yet, is way more tender and me more analyzing or psychoanalyzing myself in terms of like my upbringing and paying attention to what's deep beneath me. And the Canyon really like goes into that. Yeah. It's a really heavy concept.
I wanted to ask you about that because when you first put on the Canyon, it has like a feel-good summer vibe. You know, it's kind of got some reggae in there. It made me think of the Police, and I'm kind of like, But then when you actually sit and listen, you realize that that's just like an exterior.
It is, yeah.
And underneath, you know, and I was hoping you'd share a little bit more about that.
Of course, yeah. I mean, nobody has heard that song apart from us. But when it does come out, Aussies really love this band 10cc. It's an old school band, really awesome band. They had a song called Dreadlock Holiday. And it does this really cool Police thing that does this dub awesome shuffle thing.
Yes.
Or you can even hear it on like Hotter Than July, Stevie Wonder, like that kind of thing.
Right.
And I really dig that. I'm a drummer, obviously. So I started that song with drums, and I did the whole thing front to back in a flow state with Matt on guitar. And it's to tape, so we did it once, and then we listened back, and you can hear me at the end of the recording go, damn, that was nice. And then I took 3 days to write the lyric, and I wanted to write about my relationship with not growing up with a father and how that affects my perspective on the world. And then I wanted to also write about my experiences with long periods of depression. And I wanted to write about how it actually enlightened me a lot in terms of my perspective on the world and how to go on. And again, that resilience topic is big for me and always has been. And I think that's worthy of sharing with my fellow humans out here. So, yeah, that song really explores. I call it the canyon because the canyon is the metaphor for passing through a dark valley, and then you get to the light at the end, and there's the relief of understanding yourself. Yeah.
That song, both sonically, so literally and figuratively, is a journey.
Yeah.
Because it starts with sort of that reggae 10cc Police.
Yeah.
But if you go through the whole thing and really sit with it and grow with it, at the end it's almost like a classic rock psychedelic almost feel.
Yeah.
You know? It's like it's a lot. It's a heavy song.
It is, yeah. And, it's obviously a journey. And to me, I mean, that's the kind of stuff I love personally.
I love it, yeah.
And, I couldn't release that song with 5 Sauce. I think it would be a little bit probably a little bit alternative or something. I don't know. But so proud to have that song in my catalog. And I really believe in that. I said to myself, if there's a song I want to sing for the next, rest of my life, it would actually be that song.
Yeah.
I would stand up in front of any audience anywhere and sing that. So that's how I feel about the
Wow,
canyon.
that is so special.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't even imagine that song live.
Oh,
Like, what
wait.
is that going to be live?
I don't know yet. I get into rehearsal soon. I need to work all that out. But
I kind of want to sit in on that rehearsal because when I was listening to it and just really embracing, like being immersed in it, I'm like, how is this going to be live?
yeah.
You're like, I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know.
I know. I'm trying to work out if I'm playing and singing at the same time on drums. I mean, the coordination is being stretched, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I have full confidence in you.
Thank you.
I love, so the canyon begins it and then Endless Wave is the closer, and it's like very Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And I love it. I feel so much 70s influence on a lot of this. So tell me about that song.
Yeah, that song, I really love this artist. His name's Jonathan Wilson, and he produces Father John Misty.
Okay.
And he has a song called Desert Raven. And it's like, you can look it up. It's one of the best cruise tracks for California life. And it's 2 chords the whole way, and it just glides. And it's the song I put on in special circumstances whether I'm like trying to rebalance and get into my vibe or whatever. And there's another song that I was influenced by is Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath.
Okay,
which is like this like glistening.
That's so cool. I didn't think about that, but now I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just wanted to write about my environment. I took the liberty to write a song like Endless Wave at the end because I figured we've already got the Lose You bangers and stuff. You've got Rebel at Heart, you've got Indestructible, you've got all the like contemporary kick-ass kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So by the time if you've survived through the record to this,
Right,
the
to
end,
this
to
point,
Endless
yeah.
Wave, it's totally me just enjoying making vibes that I really love and music that I really want to be able to listen to. And also that song just discusses me letting go of ideals, just accepting the way things are, accepting change in my life. And yeah, I thought that was a good one to end it on.
It sounds like this album really is like catharsis for you, like a
Absolutely.
form of therapy.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you learned about yourself while making this album?
I learned to embrace the things like for instance, using your voice is very spiritual, emotional thing. I mean, a lot of singers probably agree. If you got really crazy things happening in your life, your voice will be constricted. Or if you're not speaking up about what you want or the way you feel in this life, your voice gets kind of oppressed and gets fried, and you don't have your range anymore.
Right.
So a lot of this is about me opening up and singing because I love singing. And really just allowing myself to enjoy these kind of things in my life, like singing and writing songs to the most extreme possible lengths that I can whilst I'm here,
Yeah.
So it's just me embracing what I love about music and my life, Yeah.
What do you hope that fans will take away when they listen to this?
Who knows? What will they take away? I mean, they could take away, one of the themes. I mean, listen and conjure resilience inside yourself to survive and to survive and thrive, not just go through the motions, but but also I want to motivate people and also come to a live show. I mean, I live to play live. That's what all of this stuff is created for. That's where the real magic and flow happens, and the release really happens there in the live spaces. And it's more important to me than it ever has been. Playing live shows, it actually seems like a kind of an old art form now.
Right.
But there's nothing more special than gathering local communities at any country you go to and getting people together and getting them to let go of all the small stuff and just be there with us.
And for the fans who might not have the ability to use music to pour their own hearts into it, to just watch the music and be there and feel it blanket them, that's medicine for them.
Yeah, and that's why I try to make diverse lyrical albums, because, I want you to look at it and go, well, where the hell am I? Am I stuck in traffic? Have I lost someone? Am I missing someone? Am I wanting to be somewhere I'm not? And hopefully you can look at my record and go, that song's for me today.
Absolutely.
That's how I would like it to be perceived. Yeah.
You mentioned your milestone birthday. You're entering your 3rd season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Sometimes with these milestone birthdays, it makes you a little bit reflective. Of course, you picked up archery and a motorcycle license, which I'm really impressed with. But what else? Are you sort of like where are you right now?
For some reason, I was really clued into my 20s. They're going to go really quick. I always kind of thought about that. So I always was like, well, I really lived extremely hard in my 20s. Like I can't sit here and say, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Like I did everything I could think of pretty much. I've traveled everywhere and done all these things that, and that's all through music. And I've been so blessed, and going into 30 feels new because I'm not hanging on to anything at the moment. I do feel happy and I feel alive, and I feel aligned with, the way I want to live. And that's even why I would release a solo record. I'm not going to stop making this music, and this is where I belong. So it's cool. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. That's life goals.
Yeah.
I feel a similar way. It's aging is a gift, know, so it's about being proud of where you are.
Yeah.
And especially with you, to think about how far you've come, how you had a very challenging upbringing.
Yeah, it was pretty challenging, but in some ways normal for where I'm from. But yeah, I found it challenging, to say the least.
Most people, and now that I'm a parent myself, to know that you were kind of raised in bars.
Almost, right?
Yeah, you were around,
I was around that. My earliest musical influence was my stepdad. My brother and sister's dad had a cover band, and my first kind of job was, he was like, you can come to my gigs at pubs and stuff. I was 9 years old. If you set up my drum kit and pack it down. And I was like, all of a sudden I'm a 9-year-old roadie.
Yeah.
So I feel like my evolution is probably pretty natural from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was raised in that and working class, zone. My mom's a nurse for Alzheimer's patients, and
that's awesome.
It was just her and I growing up, and we had it pretty tough at times. But she's in town at the moment, and we're celebrating my 30th, and
wow,
we're good right now. So yeah, I'm stoked on that.
That's amazing, because I know that growing up, she struggled with alcoholism at times.
Well, who doesn't in Australia?
Right.
Seriously, even me, alcoholism in Australia is so common. I think if you were to go and look at some statistics, it's really the major coping mechanism for life there. It's a super tough place in terms of that, and that's kind of a hidden wound of Australia that I think Americans could relate to as well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but she's a tough woman. She was a single mom, and
it's tough.
And she worked multiple jobs, and she now that I'm getting older, I'm much more gentle with the way I speak about her. I appreciate everything.
The more
she did
appreciative
for me.
you are, because you realize how hard it was, and she was doing her best.
Yeah, and the fact she's still alive is everything to me. She's my one parent, so far out. We go through these tough times together,
and how wonderful you're together now
to
celebrate life in this exciting chapter in your life.
Yeah, I think she's just stoked that all those loud rehearsals and stuff, like she would come to me, she'd be like, look, you guys sound great, but the power bill is like really expensive this month because the guys' amps are always like, I was like, is it really the amps that they really consume that? Anyways, it was rough times back then, but we're cool now. So
that's so amazing.
yeah, anyways, it's good to have her in town, and she'll be at my little show tonight.
Oh, that's so, there's nothing, that's it. Like, you're in a wonderful place right now. Look at this.
Yeah, it's good.
What do you do to, because you said you've battled sort of, you know, depression and ups and downs, and who hasn't, right? But, you know, how are you now? Like, you seem like you're in a great place. Like,
I'm pretty good at the moment. I mean, mastering the art of self is like our whole journey, isn't it? Like, it's the whole point of living. So, you know, I think one of the things that I notice now is like how I have to really work on myself to be leveled out and good, and I really turn to like a lot of physical activity to help my brain chemistry chill out, because I think a lot. My thoughts never stop. Right. Very, very creative mind, and when I don't expel that energy, I can get depressed or get mixed up in loops and stuff. So
overwhelmed by your own thoughts at times.
Yeah. So, you know, you just learn to learn yourself, learn to be gentle with yourself, and learn the things that are best to help you survive as you. I'm in a good place with it right now, but yeah, it's ups and downs.
Of course.
But that's why I share the stuff I do. It's not pleasant for me to say, yeah, I get really depressed, or yeah, I had, you know, a pretty tough a relationship with body dysmorphia, and or, you know, yeah, mum had a hard time growing up, and I share these things because I think other people appreciate that. I think it makes life a little less numb on the external. I'd rather people be in an audience listening to my music going, oh, I actually have family that have been through that, or I get this guy. It's not for pity, it's for strength. It's really for like to relate, and I'm not in the music sales business, I'm in the connection world here. Like I'm just trying to reach out and say, hey, here's what I got underneath. Do you see yourself in me? And that's really what it is. That's really the simplest form of me explaining what my relationship is with all this, I think. Yeah.
Wow. I have nothing more to say, because that was just absolutely beautiful. You're a beautiful person, Ashton. You really are.
Sometimes, yeah.
No, you really are amazing. Also wanted to talk about, in addition to your solo work in the band, you're an amazing songwriter that you write with other artists.
Oh, yeah.
We had LP on the show. Oh, my God. LP is the best. I know you've worked with LP.
Ultimate rock star.
Like the ultimate, icon. Right?
Oh, man.
Tell me what that's like working with LP, because...
Working with LP, I mean, strap in, you know? It's LP's world when you're working with LP. I mean, she is a generator. Constantly just spitting out gold. So when you're producing or writing with LP, like, you better be ready to be like, well, that thing 48 minutes ago that you sang was excellent. Could we revisit that, because you sang 50 incredible ideas since then, and I don't know which one to focus on, but the one that got me really, really was that one back there. So maybe we could, you know, it's a complicated process, but freaking amazing. I mean, it was weird. The manifestive relationship I have with LP was quite strange to me, because about 2018, I started thinking about working with other artists in terms of writing, and I always thought if I could write with anyone, it would probably be LP. I'd heard some of LP's music, and I felt a deep spirit in it that I resonated with. Her and I are kind of strangely, we have this like outlaw cowboy whistling
I totally get
thing.
That.
If you know LP, amazing whistler.
The best whistler.
Yeah, and I can whistle too. I got a lot of whistling on my record.
Oh, can we hear any live now, or is that too much pressure?
Maybe at the end.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, I have my guitar here. I can sing for you if you like. But
yes, please.
But yeah, I just said that to people. I'd be like, LP, like, amazing lyricist. Like, if we could write, I even wanted to write with LP for 5 Sauce. I just thought she had an awesome thing.
Yeah.
And then one day I was having a party, and a mate of mine, Andrew Martin,
Oh,
who's
Andrew.
her guitarist,
Another rock star. Total rock
brought
star.
LP over. And Matt Pauling, I was living with him at the time, and he had his studio in my house. And I heard them kind of just vibing on some chords, and I was pretty bored. I was like, these guys are having a writing session. I'm just sitting out here, so I might just join in.
Good for you.
Yeah, and we wrote One Like You, which was the first single of LP's last album. And it was just crazy, because all of a sudden it was 2023 and LP just walked through my door, and I was stunned. I was like, all right, this must be a synchronicity.
You
here.
manifested that.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so I kind of jumped on it. I was like, this is awesome if we could actually write something, and we ended up making a whole album. So
And the album is amazing.
thanks. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was really stoked on it. Yeah.
And you've worked with Andy Black and The Fame and so many other artists. Like, do you
Yeah.
love writing for other artists? Is that really?
One of the main ones I like to work with was One Ok Rock.
Oh,
Who were
so good.
like kind of like Japanese Foo Fighters. Like
so
they're
good.
just so.
Talk as a superstar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Taka,
Superstar.
god of vocals.
Yes.
Oh my god.
What a sick voice. So sick.
So working with them was cool. I worked on a couple songs with them, but I'm always open to it. It really depends. When I get to write with other people too much, I go, wait, I should probably be focusing on my own stuff.
I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Is there anything like creatively that you'd like to do that you haven't done yet?
It's a good question.
Or like an artist you'd like to work with, or
I'd like to now. John has taught me a lot about, if you go to John's studio, he has an amazing way of balancing his like real life with his music life. I'd love to set up a space and start just making 10 times the music I've already been making, if that is possible.
Right.
I'd really like to do that, and one of my goals is just to build an awesome space to create more, and hopefully just, you know, receive whatever, like those LP synchronicities that happen, like try and imagine some things happening in my music life that I could really nurture, and maybe have the space for that, you know.
you're going to make it happen, and I can't wait to see what comes of it.
It's pretty
And
basic.
I'm coming
though.
by, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
basic. Like, I just like being a part of it, you know. so.
Yeah. Guys, this one's for you. Have you heard of Modern Mammal shampoo alternative? My husband Brian has had better hair than ever since he switched over to this one washing product. I found this magic mud bottle in the shower, and I asked him about it, and it all made sense. Brian explained that it's his new go-to and doesn't dry out his scalp like other shampoos do. Modern Mammals doesn't distort the natural oils in your hair like shampoo does, so it keeps that perfect hair flow. The man has an issue with dry skin in general, so this has been great for him. And Brian never gets any new products, so when I saw this in the shower, I was very proud of him. I was like, look at you, Brian, discovering some self-care options. Modern Mammals was created with men in mind, but of course anyone could use it. Go to modernmammals.com and use code TAHS for 10% off. Again, that's modernmammals.com for 10% off with promo code TAHS. Don't forget to use my promo code TAHS so they know I sent you. You're welcome. When I started the Allison Hagendorf show, an online store was the furthest thing from my mind. But now I'm selling my show merch, my custom rock and roll soul hat, and soon even a custom hot sauce. Yes, you heard me. It is coming soon, and it's so easy. All because I use Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell everywhere at every stage of your business. They help you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. What I love about Shopify is it allows me to take control and customize my store for my audience, so it serves as a natural extension of my brand. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support my success every step of the way, because businesses that grow with Shopify. You can sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/TAHS, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/TAHS now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/TAHS. Let's do deep cuts, a couple of questions.
Okay, yeah.
Name a song, album, or artist that changed your life.
First one that came to mind, just into my mind, was Get Born by Jet.
Oh, so good.
That album cover was so sick. I remember it was $29 at Target I bought that for.
Wow.
And it was one of my first albums. And there's a song on that, there's 2 songs, Look What You've Done and Timothy. Beautiful.
Changed you. That's awesome.
Just got me right away. Yeah.
What was the first concert that really moved you?
Apart from my stepdad's cover band.
That was an impressionable. That was powerful.
It was impressionable, yeah. Probably Ed Sheeran.
Oh, great.
Ed Sheeran was one of the first. I never had a load of like ticket cash growing up. So when I joined the band, we started to get invited to like shows, which was like awesome.
Yeah.
You'll see me at shows everywhere. Like I just still go because I can. It's freaking awesome. And Ed Sheeran was kind of the first time I realized like what an international artist was able to deliver. His sweetness on stage, his connectivity, the nature of Ed is so sincere and cool. And I saw him in the A-Team era. So that first record, and he was in Sydney for the first time, and I was there at the Enmore Theatre, and amazing.
So awesome. Yeah, he's special.
Yeah.
He's a special talent. He's a special guy.
Yeah.
He really is. What is something your fans would be surprised to learn about you?
You know, I was probably, if I wasn't in music, I probably would have been, I was a competitive swimmer. So I was training for like, hopefully to swim for Australia.
Wow.
And that was my whole childhood from about 7 years old to 16, 17. I reached a fork in the road where I had started playing drums as like a hobby or something fun, and that was starting to consume me more, and it felt more exciting than just swimming up and down a pool, although I was very fast and good at it. It was either going to be competitive swimming or like, this music thing. So
never too late. You're entering your 3rd season.
I don't know,
Add it to the list.
Yeah, maybe get back in the pool in private, but
Well, now you can do that for fun.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they just sort of switched.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I did not know that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, there's a guy who I used to swim with. His name's Cody Simpson. Have you heard of Cody Simpson? Now he's like in the Olympics and stuff.
Wait, that's
so I look at him and I go, what the hell? Like, it could have been.
That could have been you.
Well, I could have been sweet. He could have been getting beaten by Cody Simpson. That would have been sweet. But
that is very interesting.
But yeah, he's a beast in the pool.
I didn't know that either. I'm learning so much today.
Yeah, he's swimming for Australia and stuff right now. It's a crazy
that's
career
really amazing.
arc. Yeah, crazy.
Wow. I'm learning so much right now. What is the greatest risk you've ever taken?
Let me think on that.
Okay.
Let me think
Maybe it was giving up swimming.
It could have been giving up swimming, but biggest risk I've ever taken. I don't want to be boring an adult, like that 40-year mortgage or whatever. I don't want to. I'm getting to that age where I'm just thinking about financial shit, which is like just not where we're gonna go. But yeah, let me think about it.
Also, look at you. Where you're from. You've moved to the UK. You moved to LA. I mean, I do think moving across the world is pretty brazen.
Yeah, the biggest kind of risk is like me staying away from home too long, I think, and getting really separated from my culture and the land I grew up on. You know, that's important to me as I get older. I go like, you know, all my cousins and stuff, when I left, they were probably like underneath 10 years old, and now a lot of them have kids and stuff.
Right.
Now. So the biggest risk is missing that, I would say. Yeah.
I know that feeling. My whole family's still on the East Coast, so it's hard to, what is a fear or insecurity you'd like to get over?
Singing.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a big thing for me. I just want to sing so much that I just don't feel any fear anymore for it. Because I love singing, but I still get that thing. I'm like, God, like, am I really going to sing in front of people? I don't know.
But you never feel that with drums?
Never.
That's interesting.
Never. I could get up on the kit in front of, you know, if the aliens arrived, I'd be like, you want me to play drums for you? Like,
is there a drummer that you look to that like, you would like, do you have a favorite drummer?
There's the singing drummers.
Yes.
There's amazing, like, you know, Phil Collins, obviously, Don Henley, all these guys, like, but as well, like, there's the Chad Smiths of the
Yes.
world. It's really the way these guys carry themselves. It's not really ego-based. They're actually really just pretty down to be a part of the whole thing, and I really like that. And it's not just famous drummers. Like, there's drummers I meet all the time that are just really cool. And
Karen Carpenter is my favorite.
Yeah.
singer. So underrated.
I see that video pop up
Oh
of
my
her
God.
singing.
The best.
Yeah.
She's, I mean,
Yeah.
I love Karen Carpenter. One of my favorite vocalists of
Yeah.
all time as well.
A boss.
Do you have any regrets?
Regrets? No.
Good for you. Yeah.
Not on the top of my head. I mean, been through some dodgy relationships here and there, but you know, do what you can do.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I don't regret
Haven't we
them.
all?
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
really built me in terms of like
course.
knowing who I am and stuff. And anybody that, you know, a couple of those, but no real regrets at this point in time
Yeah.
that I can think of. Yeah.
And what about words you live by?
Positive affirmation. Talk to yourself in a kind way, in your mental space. Like, try be the best. That voice in your head, try and transform that into a positive one, because I think that's one of the main ways to get through life, is by transforming your internal dialogue.
Yes.
And you can train it. I mean, a lot of people think they are their thoughts, like these negative thoughts I'm having. It's like I'm in the Zen practice. It's the thought, endless thoughts, and you choose the ones that you want to believe in. So yeah, really work on that inner
To be
thought
kind to
and
yourself.
dialogue.
Give
Yeah.
yourself grace, right?
Yeah, because you know, not everybody's going to give that to you. So
Right.
give that to yourself.
At least give it to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ashton, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alec.
Congratulations on this new album and this new era. It's a joy to be here with you to celebrate it. And I can't wait to see what's to come and this new space that you're going to build.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be
Yes.
cool.
I love that.
Have a zone like this. I hope it'll be nice.
amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank you, Allison.
We'll be right back. What a beautiful person. I think what strikes me about Ashton is not only just how talented he is, but just how gracious he is. You know, he's so grateful. You know, even talking about One Direction, he just wants to keep thanking them for that initial opportunity. So it really speaks volumes about him. And that is what I admire most about him. He's a sweet soul and also an incredible, incredible talent. Thank you so much for being part of the Allison Hagendorf Show, presented by Cloudwater. A huge thank you to our other partners as well, Danny Wimmer Presents and Karma Sauce. Thank you to our friends at Arctic Zone, and most importantly, thank you. I would love to hear from you. So please like, comment, rate, review, whatever you're feeling, and reach out to me on socials at Allie Hagendorf. I'd love to connect with you. Let me know who I should interview next and what made you smile today. Thanks again. I'll see you next time, and remember, you're a rock star.